There are a lot of opinions in equipment management, and one of the strong ones that can draw a lot of conversation is about a contractor's commitment to buying an entire fleet of equipment from one brand. I couldn't resist asking John Ballmann why buying one particular shade of yellow for an entire fleet of almost 50 construction machines plays a role in the success of his nearly 20-year-old business. John and his Fabick Cat representative, Terry Hennessy, talk here about what keeps this deep partnership sustainable and fair. John allows that there may come a time when he has to shop around, and we talked about why that time hasn't come yet.
Feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now.
John, you got in deep early, 24 years old, bought that 953 and a truck. What was your thinking in terms of buying new versus buying used equipment?
I looked at a lot of used equipment, looking down the $30,000 and $50,000 line. I knew that I had to take care of the customer, so my answer was a new machine with a warranty. Fabick stands behind their product, and if there was an issue, they would bail me out. So we took the route of a brand new 953C, a BBX unit, and we still have it to this day. Just over 10,000 hours on it. It really helped us ramp up and get started and control those expenses.
You've really put a lot of emphasis and effort into a relationship with Fabick in particular. How do you maintain a sustainable business relationship from transaction to transaction going forward with a dealer when you're pretty much just buying, one brand of equipment?
Relationships are important, and my relationship with Fabick and Cat is very strong. Started from the beginning. I mean, the Cat products, many of them you can rebuild. The rebuild factor is huge, and then the resale when we're finished. I like to run steel track equipment to the 10,000 hour mark. Maybe we'll run a little deeper, but in an effort to keep up with modern equipment, that's kind of our benchmark for ourselves. There's other dealers, and I'll tell Terry, hey, this is what I'm seeing. And Terry goes to work and says, here's what I can offer.
We've earned John's trust, and he knows when he calls me for a price on that new D6 right over there that I'm going to give him the best price up front right away, so he doesn't have to worry about the haggle.
When Fabick stands behind the product and the parts, you don't have to look around. We do have some other brands and specialty equipment and things like that, and when there's a 3 to 5 day turnaround for parts, it stinks. I mean, because now your machine's down, and for us, if the machine is down, so now that machine's not making money, but what do you do with that employee? That employee for the day or for the next 3 days, now you have to find a different job or you have to find a supplemental machine. Gets tricky. If Fabick does not have it in Fenton, Missouri, Morton in Illinois has the parts. They're shipped down here and they're here by 5 a.m. the following morning. We did it last night, and we have the parts this morning, and it's machines up and going already. That's a huge part to securing the relationship, the service.
Terry, what can you do for a customer like John to encourage him to know that he's getting as good a prices as anybody on machines, but also the continued service that he leans on so heavily?
With regards to service, he knows all of our folks in service. We have a Forrestal branch that's close to his company, and all the service managers and techs know him personally. When I call and say, we need help for John, they jump through hoops. It's roll up the sleeves and get whatever he needs right away.
And a lot of that is driven by brand loyalty. We have 40 plus Cat machines. They know that we're here and we count on their service. If they're swamped in the shop and they can't get there, I guess I can call a 911 when it needs to be. When we call the service guys, I'm like, this is not critical, but maybe we could schedule this in the next 3 to 5 days, and we can do without. But when we have that 911, I want them to understand. I don't want to abuse a 911. You save the 911s, and keep those in your back pocket. And don't abuse it, so it's a two-way street. You want to treat others like you want to be treated.
You mentioned before, you've got some friends in the business who hear about, your commitment to buying one brand. They think you're crazy. What do you think's the most convincing argument to those guys when they say those kinds of things?
I don't do it, but just when they're broke down and waiting for parts, and they can't get someone to call them back. And often a lot of that is driven by sale day price, bottom right number. And they're hopping around, and I've seen the other struggles, but service is so important to me. I can't say that I really want to stray from it.
Yeah.
Another thing though that we haven't talked about here yet is the brand loyalty, is even the serviceability. So we have an in-house mechanic that has CAT, ET, and SIS. So we have virtually the same software on a laptop that Fabick's mechanics have. So now I have one laptop that services 99% of the fleet. It's one computer system, one point of contact, one place to pick up parts, one place to pick up filters. Time is money. When we're driving around shopping and getting the wrong stuff at the wrong locations, we have one stop. I mean, everything's computer driven now. We'd have to maintain multiple laptops for the different brands.
Terry, how do you view a customer like John differently from somebody who's got mixed fleets?
John is very intelligent in his equipment purchases. He understands that the cost you pay at the purchase day, there's a lot more to it than the cost 5 years from now when the machine has 7,000 or 8,000 hours on it.
Are there things that you can do for a guy like John that you can't do for people that buy mixed machines and fleets?
If he has a machine have a problem and a machine goes down, I'll give him a loaner if we have one right away.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I can do to help him. The service department already bends over backwards for him because they know him.
Right.
He's built a relationship with our guys in our shop, which is big.
But we get in a bind and, we discover we need a bucket, a specialty bucket or something for an excavator. I call Terry and say, Terry, I need a bucket. And Terry's like, let me see if we have one. We have one. We get headed to Fabick. The paperwork's not done or anything, but they're confident enough to load it on our trailer, and we're going down the road, and the paperwork does not stop us. Now, Terry and I can work out those details in the end on the paperwork, but the yard guys, they're ready to load up and get us back on the road. Very happy. It's a long-term relationship. I think that'll continue for a long time again.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much.
You betcha, Larry.
I'm a force of nature.